Hi, in this lecture, I'm going to talk about the random module. The random module has many functions for generating what we call pseudo-random numbers. You will import the random um, with the random module by import random. We call it pseudo-random number because it's not really random. There is a deterministic algorithm or, or arithmetic formula for to generate random number. They just appear to be random. Um, Here's a few ways you can generate integer random number. Random.rand range, the low end and the high end, and the high end is excluded. So if I say rand range 1 comma 6, it will give you random integer between 1 to 6, but not including 6. A rand range of 1 comma 5 would generate random number between 1 to 4 only, not including 5. If you want to include the end, you can use rand int, int, low end and high end, and it will generate a random integer between the low end and high end inclusive. Random.random, it will generate a random number between 0 to 1, 0 included, 1 excluded. So in other words, you will go from 0 to 0.9999998 or something like that. And to generate random floating number from min to max, where the min is included and max is excluded, you can use the uniform function, random.uniform, min, max. So a random.uniform 10 comma 20, then it will give you a random number between 10 to 20, a floating point random number between 10 to 20. So it could be like 10.001, 11.1234, all the way to 20, but 20 is the endpoint is excluded. If you have like a list or a string, you could have using random.choice and passing a sequence. Sequence can be a list or a string. So if I have a student list, Joe, Sue, and Fred, if I do random.choice student list, it will randomly select a value from this list. I think this would be good for paper, scissors, rock program. You could have a list for paper, scissors, rock using random.choice. You would randomly select one of those three choices. Here's a way you can simulate throwing a dice. A dice have a 6 number, 1 to 6. So I use rand int, random.randint 1 comma 6 to generate random number between 1 to 6, including 6. So if I try this in a Python program, so let me clear this up. Import random. Dice equal to random dot rand int 1 comma 6 print maybe that's the dice value. Every time you run this, you will have a different value. Well, it could have the same value, but um, the values seem to be random. Head or tail. You can write a program to simulate the head or tail of a program. And in this case, I could ask user to enter um, how many times to iterate. So in this case, I have a for loop iterate, say 100 times or 10 times or 1,000 times. If the random number is less than half, then I say this is a head. This is what we call a accumulator. We call from a previous lecture. These are this is what we call a accumulator. So I set this accumulator to 0, the head equal to 0. If the random dot random is less than half, then I increment, I update the accumulator. And at the at the end, I will have um, simulate how many random number I have. Write a program that prompts user to enter two numbers, start and end. The program should display the program display 10 random integers number between start and end inclusive. So I want to display 10 random number between start and end, including the endpoint. So which of the which of the random function would you use then? So I'm going to clean up this. I need to import the random. So I could ask for the start, prompting user for input. It's an integer because I'm asking for integer number. Enter the starting number. And enter the ending number. And we can run this just to make sure we don't have any error. Say 10 to 20. No syntax error. There's no output because I did not have any print statement yet. So how do I generate 10 random number? Well, you need a loop for I in range 10. We learned about this in the previous lecture. And how do I generate a random number between start and end? I want a integer random number. I can say num equal to random dot rand int between start and end. If you're using rand range, make sure you add 1 to the end. But add the rand int including the endpoint, so this would be much better to use. So I will just print the number, and when I run this, starting number 10, ending 20. So you run 10 generate 10 random number between 10 to 20. And if I run this again, and let's do 10 to 20 again, you can see that it generates different random number. Modify the head or tail program so that you find the average of the random number generated. What that means is modify this program so that find the average of the random number generated. Think about how to find the average. What information do you need to calculate the average? And how do you find that information? It actually very similar to this loop here, and we will talk more about this during class then.